Well, the thing is, you also rise to the level of your competition. And I can say this with anything. This is why you want to surround yourself with successful people, because if you're with a bunch of dorks, bunch of unambitious people, guess what? Like, you become that as well. So with Miami, it's like you rise to the level of your competition. I notice myself when I box or when I play basketball, if someone I'm playing with sucks, or if they're not good at the sport, I will lower my level just to like make it competitive. And I don't do it on purpose. It just happens. I'm like, oh, I'm not fighting that good today. If I'm boxing or if I'm playing basketball, I'm not shooting that well, or I'm kind of lazy on defense. The second the competition gets better, I get better as well. It's like iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
So when you're in a room with a bunch of dumb people, naturally you're going to dumb yourself down because you want to fit in. It's human nature to want to fit in anywhere. But if you're in a room with a bunch of smart people, you're going to become smarter. So I think with Miami, they just rise to the level of the competition no matter what. If they're playing a really good team, they're like, okay, we need to try hard. If they're playing a weak team, they're like, okay, we'll like keep
it. Probably just coast and just exist around. And I'm happy you mentioned that about like the competitive nature, where when you're in a situation where you're competing against somebody, and we talked about this before too, with like the treadmill, Stairmaster, or whatever it might be, playing basketball or wherever it is, when you're in a spot where you're competing against somebody and you want to take that person's soul.
Yeah.
And when you watch Rocky, Apollo was the better boxer than Rocky, but Rocky just never quit. Yeah. So when you watch the movie, you're just sitting there like, yo, why don't this dude just give up? It's over. The first movie, he getting his ass whipped, but the dude never quit. And then towards the end, you see Apollo like, yo, I'm throwing my best at this dude. He's still here. So with Miami, I look at it like, yo, with Denver, you were the number one team in the West pretty much since the beginning of the season, because December, at this point, beginning of the season or whatever the case is. And you're going on against this 8th seed with 7 undrafted players, and they're still there. Like, they were down by 20 plus in game 1. They were still able to cut it and make it a little bit close. And Denver didn't play their best game, but neither did Miami. Miami won game 2. They didn't play their best game either. They started out up by 11. They went down by 15 like that.
Yeah.
And then they still have that dog to fight back, because to have a team that has trailed by 10 plus points in the fourth quarter and they have a winning record, when that happens, that doesn't make sense. So like you stated, I think it's like a team from destiny. And I'm not trying to get, too optimistic about it to like set myself up to be let down, because I would love to be a part of a championship team when they win. And I'm on, social media when it happens, because the last time it happened was like 2013 when the Heat won. And then in football it was 08 when the Steelers won. And I wasn't on socials during that time. But I would love to be able to, for one, go to a parade. That seems like it's freaking crazy. And then 2, to really watch that and the story. Nobody could ever say, man, I don't feel like doing it today. Maybe I'm not good enough. Because there's a squad that had no business being here.
Yeah.
But for Denver, I think they still have, they have a huge opportunity to win, because Jokic is best player in the NBA.
Facts.
Jamal Murray turns into a different beast when the playoffs happen.
He's like so streaky. He'll hit 1, 2, 3 in a row, 4 in a row. So, yeah.
Him and Jimmy Butler, actually, not to cut you off, but him and Jimmy Butler are the only 2 players in NBA history who have more 40-point games in the playoffs than the regular season. Doesn't make sense. It's like they're both the same people. It's just a light-skinned version, a dark-skinned version.
No, but it's true what you said about like taking the soul of someone else. In life in general, I think this is a great point to end on. In life in general, I feel like no matter what you look, whatever obstacle is in front of you, whatever you look at, it will always break before you do if you never give up. And it doesn't have to be a person, right? If it's a person, the person in front of you can break before you, like Rocky and Apollo Creed. The team in front of you, like the Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat, the team can break in front of you. But when you look at any obstacle, it could be a business, it could be a fucking wall. Let's say I'm punching the wall, right? As long as I keep punching, if that wall breaks before I do, if I keep punching, that wall will break before I do. My hand might be broken, but if the wall breaks before I do, I win. So, like anything, if your job is to make it through a wall, through a ceiling, to anything, I think you just gotta fucking somehow make it happen.
Yeah, I agree 110%, because it goes back to like David Goggins, where it's like, yo, who's gonna carry the boats, right? Yeah. And you're just sitting there like, man, I won't allow myself to break no matter what.
Yeah.
I got a goal. I'm going to chase after that goal. I had something that I told, and it's like, you don't want to break a promise to yourself, because only one person ever hears 100% of the lies you ever tell, and that's yourself. So with that being the case, if you tell yourself, hey, I'm going to accomplish this, I'm going to make this happen, you owe it to yourself to go and make it happen.
Facts.
Even if you fall short, you don't go to sleep knowing you didn't give 100%. Because if you win the day, win many days, you can now win the week. You win many weeks, you can win the month, you win many months, you can win the year, you win many years, you win at life.